Hey gang, Danielle Agnew here, coming to you to talk all about negativity poisoning. What is it, how does it happen, and how can we avoid it? Well, let's start first with one of my very favorite things, the human brain. The human brain is an electromagnetic organ. It communicates with itself through synapses, which are little bitty electromagnetic impulses, chemically from one side to the next. Now, why is this important? Because energy cannot be ruined. It can't be interrupted. It can't be destroyed. It can simply be transferred. That's why thoughts are things. If my brain is busy ruminating on something, all of those synapses are literally creating tiny little radio towers all over the place in my head and broadcasting electromagnetic frequencies into the air. Why is that exciting? Well, if you work in the metaphysical community like I do, we like to call that telepathy. Now, if you want to make this a little more realistic, let's look at another form of telepathy, except it's a little more practical. Your cell phone. If I call you up, that electromagnetic frequency is going to bounce off a tower, bounce off a satellite, bounce off another tower, find your phone, and your phone is going to ring. That's not magic, gang. That's science. So, the same type of electromagnetic frequency relay from a phone and a brain have the same effect. Obviously, a human brain does not have a 100,000 volt or watt frequency booster, and so probably it's unlikely that the frequencies of my personal brain are going to reach somebody in New York City, although that's been known to happen. What I'm talking about here is the fact that our thoughts are things that are actually sensible from other people. That's what we call the gift of empathy. All you empaths out there who feel people, you're picking up on electromagnetic frequencies that are flying around in the ethers. That's how this works. Now, let's take it one step further. Words. Words, gang. Words have weight. Now, it doesn't matter what spiritual or religious culture you're talking about. Words have huge amounts of spiritual and intellectual significance assigned to them. So when we type something or we say something, that's not simply hitting us on a psychological level. It's hitting us on an energetic level. All right. Now, I could go on and on and on about the premise of thoughts being things and words having weight, but these are the super bullet points to get to the point of negativity poisoning. So how's it happening? Well, think about it. So many of us spend so much time on Facebook, on Twitter, on texts. We're taking our nasty thoughts and our vitriolic comments and we're typing them in and we are hitting send. And then all of that weighted vitriol, which is not just some concept out of your head. It's an actual energy signature that's being busted down to an electromagnetic frequency, and it is flooding the ethers around us every second, every day. Think about this. There are over 3,000 and some odd satellites just floating around the Earth, having all of this interesting communication, a lot of it in electromagnetic frequencies. Our cell phones alone are picking up tons of vitriolic messages off of Facebook, off of Twitter, and sometimes we get nasty texts from people. If someone is sending somebody a nasty Facebook message, they aren't just sending it to that person. That energy is going through that entire internet relay to everybody's homes. Therefore, the ethers are being poisoned by negativity because we refuse to be accountable for the fact that we are littering our spiritual ethers. Gang, look, we want to take care of the planet, right? We want to recycle. We want to do beautiful things and repurpose. Well, let's not pollute the atmosphere with negativity either. It's not just a metaphor. And what I'm talking about is not some strange allegory. I am talking about the spiritual physics of what happens to the psyche and the brain when we don't use temperance and decorum, especially through our digital and beamed media. Negativity poisoning is everywhere around us. A lot of times it sinks in and we don't even know what's happening. Let's take this one step further. We are so conditioned to being in this silky, yucky, blocky water of negativity that we don't realize how polluted it really is. We're like that one betta fish in the bowl whose bowl hasn't been cleaned in 8 months, and it just thinks it's normal to grow fuzz on its back. That is us with energetic signatures, guys. This has gotten so gross out here. When I, as a psychic and medium, tune into the ethers, I find beautiful things. Because remember, love is a thought. Love is more powerful than negativity. It becomes a thing too. Yet what I actually notice a lot are these weird waves and tides of negativity that come through and they just stick to you. So, if you're someone out there that truly, truly believes that it is your God-given American right to be horrible to someone on Facebook, to be horrible to someone on Twitter, that is your, quote, freedom of speech, let me run something by you. That freedom of speech is not a term to coin verbal abuse. It's actually a constitutional issue that was put into place with the founding fathers to really deal with the dissemination of information through things like newspapers. So actually, enacting your freedom of speech by being nasty does not make you a constitutional American. Our founding fathers did not say, go and be the biggest asshat you can. That's freedom of speech. If you wish to be an asshat, please own the fact that you indeed are simply acting like an asshat. That's it. Pure and simple. Asshat. However, that has nothing to do with the Constitution of the United States of America. So before we all go out there and lose our minds on Facebook and lose our minds on Twitter and send hideous emails, consider this. So let's be full of decorum. Let's think before we hit send. Let's realize that the negativity poisoning that we're putting out into the ethers is not only breathed by us, gang, it's breathed by plants. It's breathed spiritually by animals. It's breathed spiritually in other dimensions. It's time we learn that not only is it appropriate for us to be stewards of our planet, but it is also appropriate for us to be stewards of our spiritual ethers. So, do your best this week to not contribute to the huge amount of negativity poisoning that I and you and everybody else is picking up outside the ethers. Let's clean up these ethers by filling them with love, with inspiration, with kindness, with education. That too is a vibration. And that vibration is one that will truly allow you to be heard. Have a beautiful week.